Konkanis as a community have been a very resilient community. You will say this is scratching your own back, but it is a statement that has stood the test of time and experience. In whichever circumstance you throw the Konkani individual, he will not only survive, adapt, but he will thrive. And there is one distinct feature of the Konkani, whether here or anywhere else in the world, and that is the ability for language acquisition. I always say the language acquisition gene in the Konkani community is very potent. So I would like to ask HM what kind of poetry he writes. And he has been described as a very firebrand poet writing in Konkani in Karnataka. Would he like to also respond to that?
My great forefathers might have migrated from Goa. We grew in such a multilingual society where Kannada, we went to Kannada school. After 6th standard we studied English. Then after pre-university, after our SSLC, we studied in English medium school like this. And we have Tulu, local language, among with us while communicating with the friends. So we grew up in this kind of society. So what urges me right is the unrest within me. So I always respond to the social injustice and all these things. And to bring about social awareness, say that I always try through my poetry. So far I have published 3 collections of my poetry and 1 short story. I am on experimental basis. I am into visual media, and I am producing some videos, and I am uploading to YouTube, and there I have created a channel that is called Untitled Cafe is there. Last time we had an interview with Pundelik Bab, and Melvin Rodriguez interviewed him. So there Kannada or Devanagari, Romi, all these things will not arrive. The person who watches and listens to the interview, he gets the idea. See, the beautiful feedback is, I have received some mails, and I have received a phone call from Australia and some call from Canada and some. So the person the person who was just started his laptop, and he was watching the interview. So then one person was standing behind him, and suddenly he turned. That was his maid, and she is not literate. And the full 15 or 16-minute capsule, she watched it. Bringing the social awareness through poetry, which is I am striving for. And in media also, I am doing for the same thing, responding to the social injustice on all these things. Media is mainly on analysis, awareness and action.
Well, my dear friends, you know, we received our faith from Goa, I would say. Many fathers who came here as missionaries, they also traveled down south to Mangalore. And along with the faith, we also received a lot of superstitions in the faith. Not that they taught them, but somehow people went after externals, not internals. They went for manifestations. They went after long processions, big churches, big decorations, and a lot more. So finally, at the end of the day, evening of the day, they were not so happy, not so contented, because they never found God within. So this is the content of this poetry. This is in Konkani, of course. It's a short poetry. Hinga Anitinga. This is the title of the poetry. Hinga. Mukti Zodunk, Sukti Manang, Bhakt Supt Bhakti Panan. Mukti Zodunk, Sukti Manang, Bhakt Supt Bhakti Panan. Vidhi Matwant, Utra Wazap, Achar Katrint, Kongta Parab. Dudanayent Gilla Mate, Dumpan Rasla, Dura Fante. Divya Medint, Zoltakas, Bangra Surungar, Rupam Prakas. Bendavaspak, Falke Purshaw, Gerd Ganank, Gan Kestau. Danan Walya Daulat Panti, Ables Makta, Manavati. Usdyar Loltat, Ankar Bogna, Jini Akrek, Yatrik Poina.
Now we request Gurudutt to also give us a brief sampling of his poetry.
The boy brings back home the kite which was cut and fallen, but the sister complains to her mother that, see, this boy has went after the rowdies and torn his shirt. This is the thought of this thing. I'll recite quickly. The title of the song is, the poem is Bhineche Shikayat. Bhini Khatir Monu Pakat, Palait Palaitana Giri Giri Guantashche Tiche Patang. वैर पळयतच धांवन धांवन आवार उडून शेण माडोवन फातर आडोवन पोड उठून अखेरीक फोकरी भुरग्यांनी शिरकावन लपेट केल्या उपरांत तुंटून सकयल पडलेले वेंचूक मारामारी. तुमी जाणा कोण वेंचतात की ताजेच तें. चोग्याच्यो गुब्बयो पटापटा हुमटून कान्ना साळेर वाजोवन तितले जाल्यारय सोडनाशी. पिंदरले कागद मोडलेले सरनीवीर घुस्पावन गेले धवे कॉटन सूत नेलार झरोवन पाय तांडून घराक पावतना पळे मा हांव नाका नाका म्हळ्यारी दुश्टांगे लागीं झगड चोगो पिंदून आयला म्हूण शिकायत करता मू अयो अक्का.
Come to the poetry, Konkani poetry in Karnataka. It has not a great history. It is only 100 years old, and you find only 3 stages there. One, poetry led by Louis Mascarenhas, which was very God-fearing. He wrote to Avram Chayednidan. Second phase comes there, led by Chafra di Costa. He was rebellion in the sense, he says, Had Chadua Budkulo, Lakai Tadantu, Saire Daire Wadonoso, Walcha Wadantu. He was questioning the tradition. This was rebellion kind of poetry. And now the third phase has entered, Prakriti Sopas. It is a collection of Alwyn Rodriguez. In the foreword written to that collection, Pundlik Bab Naik said, here the poet has become Vishwanagari, world citizen. So God-fearing, God-rebellion and world citizen.